The next half hour, we get you ready for the first matchup between these two schools since 1989. Coming up, we take a closer look at the Arizona run game that's among the best in the nation. Also ahead, Ryan Hyatt joins us for a unique discussion of this matchup in another edition of Board Games. And later, we take a closer look at the injuries for current and former Texas Tech players with our friends from Covenant Medical Group. But first, let's head out to the desert now. Our Eric Kelly in Tucson and joins us with more on the last time the Red Raiders made a trip to Arizona, something we don't want to see a repeat of later tonight. Eric?
Hey, welcome back into the wilderness version of the Red Raider Nation here in Arizona, where David, Arizona, and Texas Tech, at least on this weekend, don't have many common interests. But one thing they both believe in is that they don't have very fond memories of Arizona State. 95 miles, give or take, between the two rivals, and you're wondering why I'm bringing up Arizona State. Well, it's not a good memory, so turn away if you don't want to hear about it. Remember the last time Texas Tech football played in the state of Arizona? Well, it was September 10th, 2016. It was two quarterbacks and a head coach ago, and it was a game in which the Red Raiders lost 68-55 when that guy who still haunts nightmares in Lubbock, Texas, Kalen Balazs, had an FBS record with 8 touchdowns. This time in Tucson, Tech will get another dynamic player in Khalil Tate, responsible for 6 touchdowns in just 2 games in 2019. And earlier this week, we asked defensive coordinator Keith Patterson what it would take to limit Tate's effectiveness, and the answer is about what you'd expect.
Canadian rules? No, he's just one of those one-of-a-kind special athletes. You know, I mean, he is. If he was playing football back in the 80s, he'd have been probably at Nebraska running and playing I-formation tailback. He's an incredible athlete, just has a knack, almost like a sixth sense. He can feel when the pressure's closing in on him. So, you know, he's a guy that you have to be definitely aware of, and you got to try to force him to force other people to beat you. And it all starts with Khalil, for sure.
So find out a lot about Texas Tech on that side of the ball, especially when it comes to discipline with all the run-pass options that Tate has on a regular basis, as the Red Raiders try to prove that their 9th-ranked total defense, something you don't hear a lot about in Lubbock, Texas, isn't a fluke. David, back to you.
All right, we appreciate it, Eric. We'll check back in with you in a minute. Tate, you mentioned there, runs the show, but plenty of weapons in that backfield with him as well. That Texas Tech rush defense taking on the 9th best rushing attack in the country. That Arizona offense averaging 305 on the ground this season, and running backs J.J. Taylor and Gary Brightwell a big part of that rushing attack as well.
21, 23 is a good combo. Running backs, shifty, but they got home run speed.
And he's going up the sideline. Now it's a race.
I think we've tackled well in space, and I think we have our biggest challenge of the year Saturday night, tackling the space.
It's almost like playing assignments, triple option football, really, with all the RPOs and the run, you know, the run game. If you allow them to get the run game going, then that's going to set up all the vertical shots.
All right, time for a quick break here on Red Raider Nation Countdown to Kickoff. When we come back, Eric Kelly rejoins us with more on why we might see Alan Bowman air it out a little bit more later tonight. And later, we tell you what to watch for in the matchup of one of the best and worst defenses in the country. Those numbers actually might surprise you. We'll explain coming up.